Hello, welcome to a sort of a how should I put this? A list of titles I'm looking forward to. The new titles that are coming out from the Marvel Now 2.0. These are the new number ones. They're going to be launched. One, of course, is a relaunch of a book that's on this list. The rest are original, are either revived titles or simply original titles for these particular characters. Okay? Alright, 18 overall list. Let's get started. First up, Unstoppable Wasp. This one I'm looking forward to. One of the reasons why I'm looking forward to this because of the backdoor pilot she got recently in the pages of All New, All Different Avengers. I think it was issue 14, I believe it was. Yeah, the most recent issue that came out for the series. That issue really intrigued me, and my friend Edgar basically is intrigued. He actually loved the issue too, so he's looking forward to the series as well. So, yeah, and the series is going to be written by Jeremy Whitley, who was the co-writer of that issue with Mark Waid, and the artist is Elsa Curitier. I think that's how you pronounce the person's name. Okay, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, but that's the best I can do. But it's a title that stars the second Wasp. Actually, it's the third Wasp overall because Hank Pym briefly did assume the title of the Wasp when Janet Van Dyne was briefly considered dead. But this one stars the daughter of Hank Pym. No, it's not Janet's daughter. It's basically her name is Nadia Pym, not Hope, like it is in MC2. Yeah, that's one thing I kind of noticed though lately about Marvel is that they're taking elements from the MC2 universe and incorporating them into the regular universe, like the female Electro recently in the female Electro who recently showed up in the pages of Amazing Spider-Man, and her costume was based upon the Aftershock costume from MC2. And of course you have it where you have Hank Pym having a daughter, like he did in the Ant-Man film. So I figured, okay, the film was people love the daughter Hope so much. Let's put her in the comic, except we change her name and give her the name of the Wasp. But that's my feeling about it. But I love the character nonetheless. I'm looking forward to her series, and I've been saying that the Wasp has been like now Janet herself, who is this Wasp's stepmother. She basically has earned the right to have an ongoing series years ago, and yet she's never got one. And yet they're giving one to her stepdaughter instead of a founding member of the Avengers. Go figure. But the title looks interesting. That's what I look for. Alright, next up is not a big surprise to a lot of people, and that's the second volume of Spider-Man Renew Your Vows by Jerry Conway. One of the reasons why I'm personally looking forward to it because Jerry Conway is one of my favorite writers. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Despite the fact, yeah, the first one was written by Slott and this one's written by a different writer. I mean, I'm not looking forward to the title just because, oh yeah, you have Spider-Man Mary Jane being married and, of course, them having a daughter. That's not the only reason. The writer intrigues me. Jerry Conway really intrigues me. I mean, right now, the only title he's writing now, because they just ended Legends of Tomorrow, the only title he's writing now is Carnage, which I think is possibly ending soon. They have not announced the ending in the title, but yeah, that one I'm looking forward to. Alright? Next, of course, is Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme. And let me confirm this. I think it's written by Robbie Thompson and Javier Rodriguez. Javier Rodriguez, I think, is the artist from Spider-Gwen, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Robbie Thompson lately has been doing 3 awesomely well-written titles. Spidey, Silk, and Venom Space Knight. Of these 3 titles, Venom Space Knight is ending. Silk is still continuing. Yeah, and Silk is still continuing. And Robbie Thompson is still the writer of the book, which I'm kind of happy with. It's unknown exactly if Spidey is going to continue or not, because a lot of people are loving the title. But there's a rumor going around it might be ending soon. But Robbie Thompson is one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to this title. Simply because it's Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer. I mean, this is basically the Sorcerer Supreme. Is basically a group of sorcerers like Doctor Strange who appeared in the first arc of the current series. Now, I initially thought this series was going to be written by Jason Aaron, but nope, it's written by Robbie Thompson. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that, and Doctor Strange is one of my favorite characters, so I figured why not look forward to his spin-off title, which also stars him as well. My hoping is that the book does not get canceled in 11 issues like Aquaman and the Others, which is written by Dan Jurgens, another really good writer, and yet that book got canned in 11 issues. But it doesn't. Alright, next, of course, is Star-Lord, written by Chip Zdarsky, who's rapping for Howard the Duck, and the artist for them is Chris Ankita. I think I'm pronouncing that name right. Even though Star-Lord is basically written really well by Sam Humphries lately, I think I know the reason why they relaunched. This is actually one of 2 books that are being relaunched. Number 1, the reason I'm looking forward to this one is because Chip Zdarsky, and I'm Facebook friends with the guy, so I'm looking forward to possibly reading the book and maybe picking it up when it comes out. Alright, next is, and this is probably not a surprise to a lot of people, Champions by Mark Waid, and let me make sure if I got this right. Where are you? It's not on here for some reason. It's Champions. Wikipedia thinks not the right thing. Champions by Magic Mark Waid and Roberto Ramos. Yeah, the book itself really does intrigue me, especially since that it's a group of characters I'm personally familiar with. Now, Tivia, when I saw his thing, now he was not familiar with the Vision's daughter. I am familiar with her. Her name is Vivian. Now her brain patterns are based upon her parents, the Vision and his wife. Now the Vision's wife, her brain patterns are, believe it or not, based upon the Scarlet Witch. Yeah, they explain this. Tom King, who writes the title, title's ending title's ending, I think, next month, I believe it is. Yeah, next month it's ending. But it was explained in a flashback that Scarlet Witch had given him basically her brain patterns to basically form his wife. Basically, that's what Mrs. Vision, his brain patterns are based upon. But Vin and Vivian, the Vision's son and daughter, they're based upon the brain patterns of combined both the Vision and his wife. That's what she is. And she's a very interesting character, and it's good though you have an original character in this title who has been around for a good year. I mean, unlike the rest of these characters around for several years. She's only been around for 1 year, and yet she's being put into a group series. Awesome job, Mark Waid, and yes, I'm looking forward to his Avengers run, in case some of you probably asked me in the comments below if I'm looking forward to that. But the lineup does not include her, but also the Amadeus Cho, past Cyclops, Miles Morales Spider-Man, Kamala Khan Miss Marvel, Sam Alexander Nova, and I think that's it. That it's basically the younger heroes in a way, and I've been thinking that Marvel has been missing this type of title for some time, probably since the Young Avengers title ended a couple years ago. Of course, the title was awful. Yeah, but this title, it looks better. It looks really interesting, and I'm looking forward to when it comes out. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to move to LA if they wanted to, because that's where the original Champions series was based on when it was operated in the 70s. Next couple of books are Brian Michael Bendis books, and it's Invincible Iron Man. This is actually the 3rd relaunch book by Bendis himself and a new artist, Salfito Sabino Castelli. I think it's the artist's name. This one I am looking forward to because it's a new Iron Man in the way, or should I say Iron Heart? It's a woman. Now, the one thing good about this title is that she's not like the first issue of this book is not her first appearance. This is a character who had been appearing on a recurring basis in this very volume. So, I'm looking forward to this. This really is interesting. A female version of Iron Man. This is something that I think a lot of people have been hoping for years. I mean, aside from Rescue, there is like no other female type of Iron Man out there. But, yeah. And I like her name, Ironheart. I mean, it's not Iron Lady, which seems very stereotypical. And the other one is Infamous Iron Man, which is also written by Bendis. And Alex Maleev. It's the same creative team as International Iron Man, but they're replacing Tony Stark with Doctor Doom. This one is a bit bizarre, but I'm looking forward to it because I want to see how weird this premise is. And seeing Doctor Doom as a hero. But knowing him, he'll probably screw it up. And become a big bad villain again. Next is a title that I am looking forward to reading, but I'm happy that once again, Marvel has relaunched this for the 3rd time. Yes, they relaunched it 2 years ago, and then they relaunched again just last year. And I have to ask, why the heck does this title have to be relaunched again for a 3rd time? Completely unnecessary. And I think it's the same creative team who started the current volume of the series. I think so. But I'm looking forward to it, nonetheless. But Captain Marvel, the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel is one of my favorite characters. That's the reason I'm looking forward to it. Next is Hawkeye by Kelly Thompson and Leonardo Romo. Now, this book, from what I can tell, has the book. It's not focused on Clint, mind you. The whole series is going to focus on Katie Bishop. Something that people have been hoping for years. And now she finally has her own book, and she's not taking over someone else's title for every other issue. So I'm looking forward to it. Currently, she's doing A4. She's doing a pretty decent job in that book. I mean, she's not G. Willow Wilson, but she's doing a pretty decent job. And the title's still really interesting in my honest opinion. Alright, next, of course, this is Jason Aaron title. Unworthy Thor. This is one of a couple titles I'm not happy that this is going to be a limited series. From what I saw on this list, this is going to be a 5-issue limited series. I'm like, really? I mean, people have been hoping that the original Thor would get a title back again, and they give him back his title, and it's a 5-issue limited series. That's the only thing I criticize about this decision, to make it a 5-issue limited series. But I'm looking forward to it simply because it's Thor, and because Jason Aaron's an awesome writer. Alright, next, of course, is Jessica Jones. And for the first time in, I'd say, 10 years that she's had an ongoing series. Yeah, it's been over 10 years since she had an ongoing series, and once again, it's written by Michael Bendis. Though it's not under a different name. Her original series was called Alias. That lasted for a little over 2 years, and then she had The Post, which lasted for a little over a year before that got canceled. But some people were hoping that she might get a title because of her Netflix series, and they waited a year after the release of the Netflix series to finally give her one. Okay, fine. But this is a good character, and this knows the writer, so why not? Next one might surprise some people, but Kingpin. Yeah, Kingpin. And this one's going to be written by Matthew Rosenberg and Ben Torres. One reason I'm looking forward to this is because I'm loving the Civil War II Kingpin title. And Kingpin has had a series before. Usually he's had a couple mini-series, but never an ongoing one. As far as I can tell, no. I know Bullseye's getting one. I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to Kingpin a lot more because Kingpin is one of my favorite villains. So I figured I'll want to check out his title. And yeah, that's really it when it comes to Kingpin. Alright. Next is Death of X by Jeff Lemire and Charles Shaw, and artist is Aaron Cooder. This one is probably by far, for a lot of people, the most anticipated miniseries coming out because it kind of does explain what the heck happened to the majority of the X-Men during the 8-month jump. That's really the whole point of this series. And, of course, how Cyclops died. That will finally be explained. And, of course, what happened to other X-Men who are currently not around. People like Emma Frost, Havoc, and a bunch of others. So, yeah, that's another time I'm looking forward to. The next one is, and this might surprise a lot of people, Thanos. Yep, Thanos. Also by Mike and Mike Deodato. One of the reasons, Jeff Lemire. I love this guy's writing. And Thanos, I'd say, this is not the first time he's had his own ongoing series. He had one back in the early 2000s, but it got canned for 12 issues. So Maybe Marvel's gonna have a chance because he's a popular villain. It's a possibility, but yeah, Thanos. All right, this one I think the I think it's the original creative team who wrote this title, wrote this character when he was the all-new Ghost Rider. Felipe, I think his name is, one of the co-creators to this one. This one actually, this is Ghost Rider. Now, it's been a couple years since there's been a Ghost Rider series. The last one that was around was all new Ghost Rider, and it featured an original character instead of focusing on your Johnny Blaze, Danny Ketch. So we have the guy who drives a car. Now, I know the reason why this series is going to exist. Because the characters show up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's really the only reason why. I'm looking forward to it because I'm a Ghost Rider fan. That's mainly the reason I'm looking forward to it. And the last series ended with only 12 issues. It was a pretty good series. It's just that the guy who wrote the series also did the majority of the artwork for the series as well. So you have to have a good taste to read the series to actually like the artwork. I actually kind of like the artwork, but it's up to everybody if they wanted to. Now, a lot of people were kind of against this character simply because because he looked weird and he looked like a Terminator. But I like the character. I really do. Next is Cage by Grindy Tarkovsky. And he's going to be the writer and artist of the series. And this is the guy, from what I've been told, is the creator of Samurai Jack. And apparently this series was announced back in 2008. I don't remember if it was. I wasn't really on the internet that much back then. But so some people were saying it's about frickin' time. We waited 8 years for this title's release, and finally it's been released. Yeah, this is one of 2 titles they've done it for. I've heard. Another one was Captain America White, and people waited for years for another issue to come out, and apparently it's been sat on for so long. Yeah, apparently Marvel has a reputation for doing this, like announcing a certain series and then not releasing it for several years. But once again, this one also falls on the same problem that one of the Thor has. It's a 5-issue limited series. Yeah. That is my only problem with it. I mean, what's wrong with having an ongoing series for some of these characters? Why a limited series? I mean, Death of X makes sense. But Cage and Unworthy Thor being limited series, that just makes no sense. That's my only criticism of the book. Alright, next 2 more. Iron Fist by Carrie Andrews and Afa Chan. I'm not familiar with the creative team, but from the premise of the series, it's going to focus on multiple different Iron Fist. Maybe the Iron Fist, I know there's a female Iron Fist in the book. I'm hoping it's the character that was introduced in Bendis' during the last year of Bendis' New Avengers run, because no one's really heard anything from that character in probably 4 years. So, yeah. And unlike Cage, it's an ongoing series. I have checked the solicits about that. It is an ongoing series. And the last one is Occupy Avengers by David Walker and Gabriel Watada. David Walker is one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to this title, because I've loved this guy's writing. This guy wrote. I haven't read Shaft, but I've heard it's really good. The only reason I haven't read Shaft because I haven't seen the film. That's really the only reason why. I have read his Cyborg run. Awesome. And I'm loving his Power Man and Iron Fist series. It's really, really good. And him writing an Avengers title, not a bad idea. The guy hasn't written that many titles, but the guy is a really good writer. And so far, the only people announced to be part of the Occupy Avengers is the Clint Barton Hawkeye and the new Red Wolf. Now, I'm kind of happy that the new Red Wolf has actually been sticking around, because his title was unjustly canceled after only 6 issues. I'm like, really, Marvel? You allow titles like... I mean, the title was written by Nathaniel Emerson, who had written titles like Black Widow. He wrote the recent Deathlock series, and he wrote the frickin' Punisher and he wrote Black Widow, Punisher, and Deathlock. 3 awesome titles. And he gets handed Red Wolf. Title gets handed the 6 issues. And I'm like, what the heck are you gonna do with this character? You can't just leave him out in limbo like a bunch of other characters you created over the years done nothing with. But yeah, I mean, the premise looks kind of interesting. It looks like it's kind of based on the Occupy Wall Street stuff, but it's kind of like an urban thing and looks like cross-country type of thing. So it kind of looks interesting to me, but two reasons why I'm looking forward to it. David Walker and Red Wolf. That's the only reason I'm looking forward to the title. Clint Barton, I am looking forward to seeing him again in another series, but at least they're keeping this guy around instead of, doing nothing with the character. Alright, so that's it for this video. Stay tuned for more videos in the future. I'm still doing more videos. So, until my next video, which is going to be an audio-only video, I'm going to do a review of the miniseries Invasion that came back in the 80s. You hear my thoughts on it and who the creative team of that miniseries is. Okay? So until then, I will see you there. Bye.